Miss Marsha Hinds-Layne, better known as the Pepper Fly. I'm sure that we'll get something peppery tonight. Good.
Greetings. Good night, Barbados Labour Party family. Good night. I'm glad that Mark went before me because I was beginning to wonder that the neighbors had told Duguid, don't keep the noise up here. So I was wondering how I was going to survive. But I'm glad that Mark has allowed me now to be able to open out, as it were. It is always good. It is always pleasurable to support and to come to endorse Dr. William Duguid. Dr. Duguid is a person, like Kirk said, who I've come to learn is interested in mentorship, is interested in being a part of the new politics that Barbados needs. Because at the end of the day, we are at a crossroad in this country. And I hope that everybody understands that this is what the next election in Barbados is about. We have to make decisions about where we want our country to go and what it is that we want to see. And today I walked with Wilfred Abrams in Christchurch East. I'm working closely with the entire Christchurch team because really, I think the Barbados Labour Party has given the people of Christchurch easy choices to make, starting with Dr. Duguid and going right back to Ralph Thorne, Ryan Strawn, Wilfred, and the entire Adrian Ford and the entire Christchurch team. They've done an excellent job in bringing to you a mixture of experience, a mixture of different types of representation, and I really want the people of Christchurch West and the people of Christchurch more broadly to embrace that. Now, you know that you're doing a speech. You want to bring something to people that can uplift. You want to bring something that has a little bit of philosophy. And usually a good way to start doing that is to look for some political quotations, to look for some quotations that people have given over the years that kind of build up what you want to talk about, lay the context for what you want to speak about. I immediately knew where I was not going to look. I was not going to look at anything that our Prime Minister has said in the last couple of years. Because he's a man that likes to talk about nipples being sore, that likes to tell us about his understanding of the word temporary, that he knows which stage of the plan that he is at, like if we don't also need to know what stage of the plan he is at. So I knew where not to start looking for these quotations. Barack Obama, of course, will always be an inspiration and a legend to people in my generation when it comes to world politics. The man was just strong in terms of leadership and strong in terms of creating a vision for his country. But alas, when I started to look at Obama as well, that wasn't quite fitting. Because he was telling his people in one of the hardest and darkest times of American history, yes, we can. And at the end of the day, although I know Barbados can, it was not fitting because in order to be able to can, you need leadership. And right now, there is nothing that I can tell you about where Barbados is that connects with strong and good leadership. So I was still having a problem in terms of finding these political quotations. And then something from my childhood dropped into my head. Things in Barbados are getting curiouser and curiouser. I don't know if you've had the privilege to read that book by Lewis Carroll called Alice in Wonderland, but that is one of my favorite classics. So I picked up the book, and within a couple of minutes, I had come across the phrase, why sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. I said, boy, that's Verla de Pisa if she feels she could beat William Duguid. So we got to start. I'm getting excited now. I come down the road, and the king says, while he's talking to Alice, begin at the beginning. He said it very gravely. And go until the end. And when you get to the end, stop. I said, okay, good. I am going to follow that plan. I have some things that I want to say to the people of Christchurch West. I am using Alice in Wonderland to quote from in this speech. I started at the beginning and I going to the end. Good. The people of Christchurch West must understand first and foremost that our situation in Barbados is grave. There are all kinds of things that are out of whack in this country in a way that I have never seen them, and in a way that I would have never thought I would see them in my lifetime. A couple of weeks ago, I saw a bus drive off of its axle just down the road from my house in St. Philip. So the bus was on its side of the road, and the wheels, the two back wheels came off and were on the other side of the road when you are coming into Possum Bridge. And if anybody knows Possum Bridge in St. Philip, that's one of the most dangerous bends in St. Philip. So you come around Possum Bridge, there is a bus blocking one side of the road entirely. And as you come out to swerve off the bus, there are two bus wheels in the road. But people will tell you that things are all right in Barbados, that you can still get a bus. My son had surgery last year, and the doctor that did the surgery on him had to use two ends of gauze and join them together to make one piece of gauze big enough to cover his cut. But people will tell you that things are all right in Barbados, nothing to see, don't look here. But we've got to look here. We've got to do more than look here. We have got to understand as the people of Christchurch West that we have gotten ourselves here. And nobody can save us but ourselves. I told a man this morning when I was canvassing, you know what we have in Barbados now? We don't have the government we voted for. We have the government that we did not vote for. He said, wait, you come to my house and you trying to be arrogant? I said, no, I am not being. He said, explain what you mean by that statement that you just made. What are you really talking about? I said to him, well, every time I go canvassing in Barbados, and I say to people, well, you've got the government that you voted for. Please make your decision wisely the next time. They say, not me. Not me. I vote for this government. Not me. Not me. They ain't get my ex. And I walk in St. Lucie and I hear it. And I walk in St. Peter and I hear it. And I walk Christchurch and I hear it. And I walk St. Philip and I hear it. So we don't have the government we voted for. We have the government we did not vote for. The man look at me. He can't say nothing. I said, so this time around, the people of Barbados have to get up and they have to make sure that they got the government, that they got the government, that they got the government, that they voted for. Because the one that we did not vote for is not working for me. I don't know if it's working for you, but it's not working for me. I want to tell you because, you know, this is the time to remind people about what the issues are. For the first time in the history of Barbados, we now have what I call the Cabinet of Splits. The Cabinet of Splits. The sewage problem that we have on the South Coast has nothing to do with money. The Barbados Water Authority could have managed the South Coast sewage system better. I would accept that. The system perhaps needed upgrading. I would accept that. But I want to put it to you that sewage, I'm in good company. Sewage is not flowing on the streets of the South Coast tonight because we didn't have money or because we didn't have management. It is flowing in the streets tonight because David Eswick don't speak to Chris Sink, the economy. And Chris Sink, the economy, don't speak to John Boyce. And these are the people who are presiding over our future on a daily basis. occurs, there is no collective responsibility. There is no collective management. And that is why you have sewage on the streets tonight. I want to tell you that when King David gave Crescent the economy, the Ministry of Finance, it was not because he loved him. It was not because he loved him. It was because Sink the economy was running right behind him in the opinion polls in terms of who was going to be the best future prime minister. You remember that? When Sink the economy used to be all up in 13%. And Sink the economy is so smart that he could not understand that he did not have the understanding to run the economy, first of all. And then secondly, that he is the one then that would become the face of all the hardship and adjustments that have happened in Barbados. So that is the kind of thing that has happened in terms of making decisions for your life. It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with what was best for you. And I want you to understand that as you go to make your choice in the upcoming election. You have a party who is coming to you and who is saying, we need to rebuild this country. We need to rebuild it quickly. And we need to rebuild it in a way that brings new ideas and initiatives to the fore. And you have a party who up to today is still playing out politics in George Street as if it is the personal chessboard of somebody inside George Street. We are up to 29 candidates now on the eve of an election in Barbados. But what they cannot tell you is that they cannot announce somebody to run in St. John, because that is the scene of a fight between two men to find out who is the bigger man. That is what politics is about for the Democratic Labour Party. It has nothing to do with the people of Barbados or the needs of Barbadians. And we have gone along with the fiasco for too long, because we've brought ourselves to believe that all politicians are the same. How can all politicians be the same? Why sit down at this political meeting tonight and your parliamentary representative feed me and he gave me something to drink? And I want to say to you tonight that is a significant thing that he has done. Because there are people in this country tonight who, after they leave here, would not have gone home and gotten something to eat. It shows you that your parliament, that your MP, your future MP, is connected to and understands the place that this country is. And that he is willing to bring service to the level of the people, at the people. Ask the people the other day that went down the road there so by Rihanna Drive if them get something to eat down there that night. Ask them. Ask them. All of our politicians are not the same. And the Democratic Labour Party is running through Barbados with that propaganda, and I want to tell you why. It is because they know that they win in a context where we get the government that we do not vote for. So in other words, if you had gone to the polls in 2013 and voted, they could not be there today. So they understand that when the people of Barbados get the government they don't vote for, that it is better for their political longevity. I want you to understand it. We are a people of struggle. Somebody said it before tonight. Barbadians will take a lot. You will have a woman who will work for $250 at a gas station as she will send to school 3 children, pay rent, turn around and build a little back or front until she create a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom bungalow. We are people that are accustomed to struggle. But under one government, struggle means something that you can tangibly see. And under another government, it means that a man fits you with an ill-sized bra. And anytime you put a man and a bra together for too long, it never ends well. I don't know if the women in the crowd would support me, but I know it to be the truth. Men and bras do not belong together. So this man put on this bra on you, and he hooked it to the first hook. The first hook was where he took away every single tax allowance that gave the middle class in Barbados a little bit of spending power. Everyone. One fell swoop. Tomorrow, you had it. The next day, gone. Spending power, lick up. Middle class people can't paint the houses. Can't fix a window when it breaks. Can't do a little back or front like I just said. Nothing at all. But we ain't complain, because that is how we are. We will take a lot. So my man said, oh, well, the cleavage ain't come up nice enough. Let me drop another hook in it. That next hook was the 2.5% on the VAT. Everything in the supermarket now. Lick up. Car parts gone up. Medication up. And that was after they had put on when you go to the pharmacy, what they call it? The what? The tax where you have to now pay to have your medication dispensed. I am not hearing the name, but okay, the co-pay tax, right. So that went on, and then the 2.5% behind it. And my boy looking at my boy said, well, I ain't comfortable. Let me go for the whole hog. Drop another clasp in it, in SRL, and all the way lick up. Lower class, middle class, upper class, everybody in Barbados lick up. So you see how I feel like Alice? And you see how I living in Wonderland? So we standing up now and we asking our leaders, would you tell me please which way I ought to go from here? And you know, Frandel, a man of great riddles. Well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to. Should you really care where? You know, he would tell you something like that, you know, acid, sour. He says, well, if you don't know where you want to get to, then anywhere will take us there. Well, we have been adrift and going anywhere and nowhere for the last 9 years. It is like being in a boat, and the boat develops a hole. And the skipper put his foot over the hole and says, we don't have a hole. What are you talking about? Instead of bringing the engineers, instead of bringing the cabin crew, instead of trying to figure out how we patch the hole before we did, he puts his foot over it. No, that hole doesn't exist. Frandel Shore travels from St. Philip, via Haggett Hall, via Sherborne to work. There is no sewage in his world. That is how he lives. He doesn't see it. It does not exist. Last week, the one last thing that Barbados had, they've taken away everything else, bungled everything else. Brand Barbados skin up. The one last thing we had, our non-ability to turn on a water pipe in Barbados and drink straight from it. Lick up. Gone. Done with. You think that would cause your Prime Minister to rouse himself to address the nation? to explain what was happening? He sent one of his mad hatters who ain't even faced the public of Barbados for a mandate to bring a message to you, the people that gave him the mandate. We have been playing the fool in this country for too long, and we have to blame ourselves for where we are tonight. I think it is time for us to expose this man for who he is, so that when the people of Barbados have their decisions to make, they can make decisions in consciousness and understanding. Voting keeps a democracy working. And if our democracy feels like it is not working tonight, it is because you have not been voting. You want me to say it again? Because y'all a little quiet. Voting keeps a democracy working. And if your democracy feels like it is not working tonight, it is because you have not been voting. There are decisions to be made in this country. And the ones of us with the most to lose, the ones within the hearing of my voice in Rockley, the ones down Darrell's Road, who have worked hard and long and put a little piece of house on a little piece of land in this country and still owe the bank for it and smelling hell paying for it, are the ones with the most to lose. Are the ones that have to make sure that they get up in the morning and ensure that by 10 o'clock, Dr. William Duguid is the next duly elected representative in Christchurch West. Don't wait till 12. Don't wait till 12. By 10 o'clock, make sure that your vote is cast. And I want the people up by Ralph to do the same thing. And the ones up by Wilfred. And the ones crossed by Kirk. And we're going down the road constituency by constituency, because enough is enough. So you can understand now why I feel like Alice. Because if you go to your leaders and you try to talk to them and you try to tell them, I can't pay my mortgage, I need help, I need easement, the bra too tight, they have nothing to tell you. You know, my boy will come now with a riddle. You know, he will say, but what is a raven? Why is a raven like a writing desk? Because you know he could take you off topic real easy and real far. Have you guessed the riddle yet? No, I give up. I want to talk about my mortgage. Well, Mad Hatter would tell you, but I don't have the slightest idea about your mortgage. Your mortgage is your business. You know? That is what we have been living with. That is what we have been living with in this country for the last 9 years. And it cannot continue. All parties are not the same. I remember a time in this country when some of us were working 2 and 3 jobs if we so desired. There was work and then work and more work around every street corner. Not only were we working harder, but we were growing an economy for ourselves. Where you think I didn't used to get my nails do too? Hair, eyebrows, eyelids, all kind of thing. Because we had a little bit of money that when the lady around the corner that got 5 children opened the side of her house and put in a door and write salon on it, that we could afford to give her a little something when the week come to make ourselves look nice and don't have to worry about it. But that's how you grow an economy. That is how you grow an economy. Not by what this batch of people are doing. There is no woman who doesn't like a man that can lead. I am ready for some leadership in my life. I am ready for some leadership in my life, and I hope the people of Christchurch West are ready for some leadership in their lives. William Dogood is the man. William Dogood is the man. He is the person I hear they saying, oh, but y'all ain't telling the people what y'all gonna do and what different. Now, at the end of the day, if you have a government that the IMF complains to you when they come to do their Article 4 consultations that they don't even get all of the information that they need, how is the party in opposition supposed to get it? And because the Democratic Labour Party is so good at making false promises, anything that sounds good, they think that the Barbados Labour Party should also be in that business. But we are not in that business. We will only know what it is that is there to do and what we can do and how when we get the fullness of the details about where it is that we really are in Barbados. We are focusing on the South Coast, but I understand that the one there sewing tongue on it last legs too. So how we gonna tell you what we're doing? They are not even admitting that there are problems. But this is what I know. This is what I know. I walk and I talk and I listen to do good and the members of the team of the Barbados Labour Party. And I hear a caring for people. I hear an understanding of people. I hear a desire to return this country to normalcy. And with those things in front of them and the people of Barbados behind them, we will get to where we once were first. And once we get there, we will then continue as high and as far as the eyes can see. Because at the end of the day, this is my country. This is my children's country. And I want to be able to stay and live and work and play. Not only work, play too. In this country of my birth. And I am saying to you, finally, if I have not made the case already, the last thing I'm going to beg you to do, if you don't do it for you, I beg you do it for me and the people of my generation. Vote!